You ever have a day where you think, surely it can't get any crazier, and then it does? Picture this, I'm standing in my own driveway holding my garage remote, about to hop into my BMW, when suddenly a woman barrels toward me, face red, phone in hand, yelling like she's caught me red-handed in a heist. "Stop right there, you thief!" Yeah, that happened. My peaceful Saturday got nuked in 3 seconds flat. Just me, my black BMW, and a neighbor who looked ready to call in a SWAT team. Before I could even process what was happening, she's dialing 911, shrieking into the phone, "Someone is stealing my BMW." You know that gut drop feeling? That's where I was speechless. Keys dangling in my hand, staring at the house I owned, the car I paid for on land my grandfather left me. Meanwhile, she's blocking my way like a human barricade. If you've ever had one of those neighbors who acts like your stuff is actually theirs, you're already halfway into this story. Let me back up a sec. I'd just dragged myself home from a veterinary conference in Denver, my suitcase still parked by the cabin door. All I wanted was to grab groceries and be done before the Saturday rush. Instead, my welcome home is an HOA president named Vivian Blackwood. Yeah, the kind of lady who waters her roses in $200 yoga pants and has opinions on everything from fence color to the size of your mailbox. She spots me from across the yard, drops her watering can, and comes sprinting well as much as you can in designer sandals right at me. Her blonde hair's bouncing, phone out, voice clipped and sharp, like she expects everyone to snap to attention. So I try to keep it cool. "Ma'am, I think there's been some confusion," I say, pulling out my registration and showing her the address matches mine. She doesn't even blink. Fake document, she declares dead serious like she's Sherlock Holmes. "I bought this exact car last week. I have all the real paperwork." The way she said it, so smooth, so rehearsed, it actually made me question if I was losing my mind. Then neighbors started trickling out one by one, Mrs. Caldwell in her robe, Frank with a rake in hand, even Vivian's teenage son Tyler hanging back, looking like he wished the ground would swallow him. The police show up, Officer Martinez and his partner, clipboards and all. They go through my documents, everything checks out. My name, my address, insurance, you name it. Any normal person would have dropped it right there. But not Vivian. She just doubles down, spinning wild theories about me being a professional car thief with forged documents, and starts rattling off details about my BMW that only an owner would know. Honestly, she sounded less like a victim and more like someone working off a script. When Officer Martinez suggests maybe it's all a misunderstanding, Vivian's face drops, that righteous act for a split second, just cold calculation underneath. She looks at me and says, "This isn't over. I'll be filing a formal complaint with the HOA." She uses my full name like she's been waiting for this. And as I finally back out and head to the grocery store, the whole scene sticks to me like a bad smell. That wasn't just a neighbor losing it. She knew too much, and her threat felt planned. By Monday, my gut was right. At 7:30 in the morning, I get an email subject line screaming, "Formal complaint, serious property violation." My coffee goes cold as I read, "Mr. Sullivan, you are required to appear before the HOA Disciplinary Board to address allegations of criminal activity involving stolen property." I swear the legalese made me sound like I'd masterminded a bank heist, not just survived a crazy driveway showdown. Vivian must have worked overtime all weekend, because not only was her complaint on the board's agenda, she'd gotten all 5 members to sign off. I went from pet doc to community threat overnight. Tuesday, she ramps it up. Vivian's posting on the neighborhood's private Facebook group video of me opening my own garage, filmed from a creepy angle. Her caption, "Suspicious activity. Stay vigilant." Comments start rolling in. Some folks are ready to bring out the pitchforks. Meanwhile, I find out she's been telling neighbors that our upscale community's being targeted by sophisticated crime rings. Then I check my mailbox. My HOA account's frozen. No pool, no gym, can't schedule repairs. There's even a security guard at the main gate making notes as I drive by like he's starring in his own spy movie. Thing is, Vivian's story had holes you could drive a truck through. She told the police she'd bought a BMW last week, but she'd posted a dealership selfie 3 weeks ago, said her car had cream seats, mine are black. But nobody else seemed to notice, too busy soaking up her drama. That HOA hearing felt less like a meeting, more like a firing squad. Vivian in the front row folder, thick as a Bible, 3 board members hanging on her every word. Board President Margaret Clark, her tennis buddy, acts like my legitimate papers are somehow more suspicious than Vivian's wild claims. They demand I provide more documentation or face enforcement measures. Sitting there hearing neighbors I've known for years treat me like a felon based on one woman's fantasy, I realized this wasn't about justice. Vivian wanted power, and she knew how to use it. That night I couldn't sleep. Vivian knew things about my schedule she shouldn't like when I'd been gone for conferences, details about my car only an owner or stalker would know. The next morning I decide to stop reacting and actually investigate. I dig into the HOA bylaws. Guess what? Not a single rule lets them freeze accounts for suspected criminal activity. All that stuff was just made up. Then I check my security cams. Vivian had been casing my garage for weeks, walking by, snapping photos, even getting a garage door tech in to supervise repairs. Turns out she used that to get inside, check out my car, maybe even make a copy of my key. So I start setting my own traps. I email the board CCing Vivian asking for her BMW's VIN so we can clear this up. She refuses, calls it witness intimidation, then escalates to the sheriff's department saying I'm tampering with evidence. Her story just keeps getting wilder. I run into her son at the mailboxes. Poor kid cracks and admits she's been talking about this car plan for like 2 months. Next day, a sheriff's deputy shows up with a search warrant. Vivian's now claiming I'm part of a vehicle theft ring. They find my spare BMW key right where it belongs. Vivian appears brandishing an identical key, saying he must have copied mine, and produces a sketchy email from BMW sent the day before confirming a replacement key. When I mention my dash cam to the deputy, Vivian turns pale and panicked. Dead giveaway. She's hiding something. That night, the puzzle pieces lock in. This was never about a car. It was about targeting me. Why I dig deeper and discover that Vivian had done the same to others. Mrs. Caldwell confides she'd been accused of stealing a neighbor's package last year. Same script, same public shaming, same bogus HOA violations. Frank from down the street tells me HOA fees tripled after Vivian became treasurer money, vanishing into consulting services. A couple nearby sold their house at a loss after endless fines. The patterns clear, identify valuable homes. Fake crises drive people out, buy low, flip for profit. 7 families gone in 3 years. She'd weaponized the HOA as her own real estate machine. With the help of a lawyer, we pull HOA financial records, money funneled to her son-in-law's security company, bogus consulting fees, $280,000 gone in 18 months. Her own house, bought in foreclosure, after she drove the last owners out. It's a full-blown racket hiding in plain sight. When the board calls a final meeting, Vivian thinks she's got her big finish, a doctored video edited to make me look guilty. She plays at crowds buzzing, but I'm ready. I queue up my footage with timestamps, multiple angles, proof she trespassed, staged her evidence, and edited the whole thing. Then comes the avalanche: bank records, property transfers, testimony from other victims. Vivian tries to shout me down. I spent weeks planning how to expose his criminal activities. She screams, catching herself mid-confession. Then the smoking gun footage of her and the garage tech inside my garage handling my keys, documenting my car. The room erupts. Residents demand action. The police step in. She's arrested on the spot. Her last words: "This isn't over. I'll sue every one of you. Nobody buys it." The meeting ends with new leadership. Mrs. Caldwell as treasurer, Frank heading transparency, and neighbors apologizing for ever doubting me. 6 weeks later, I watch as Vivian, convicted of fraud, embezzlement, trespassing, and filing false police reports, gets sentenced to 18 months in prison, 3 years probation, and $450,000 restitution. She's banned from community boards, her real estate license gone, her son-in-law facing his own charges. The state audit finds even more, 11 families forced out $1.2 million in profits. The restitution fund helps families recover. Our neighborhood rewrites the bylaws, adds transparent audits, and finally becomes a place where no one person can ever pull off a power grab like that again. Funny thing, my vet clinic thrives now. Neighbors who once avoided me bring their pets and drop off pies, hang out for backyard barbecues. Mrs. Caldwell tends her herb garden behind my house. Frank hosts monthly cookouts, and the new family in Vivian's old place reminds me every day how a community can heal. So here's the thing, justice. It's not just about courtrooms or cops. It's about neighbors, watching out for each other, documenting the truth, and refusing to let bullies run the show. My BMW sits in my garage doors wide open, not because I'm fearless, but because I believe honest people have nothing to hide and everything to gain by sticking together. What do you think? Where's the line between standing up for yourself and letting a community fall apart? Ever been through something wild with an HOA or C-Power get abused in your neighborhood? Drop your stories and your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear it all. And hey, if you believe in real justice, share this story, because standing up for what's right might just be the start of real change wherever you live.